Hello, my friends. Hello, and welcome once again to stately Vaughan Manor. Just a quick little video today where we are finally going to settle a question. We're going to settle a question that's been around for a while now, and that question is this: what is actually better, ebooks or physical books? What is the better thing, an ebook or a physical book? Now, most of us readers, most of us, not all of us, but most of us probably read both nowadays. If you're a big time, read all the time kind of person, you probably do both. Not everybody though. Some people will choose one or the other. And if you're going to choose just one or the other, you're like, I'm only going to read ebooks or I'm only going to read physical books. Which one is a better thing for me to read? Which should I choose between the two? Now, this is not an original type of video I'm doing today. There have been thousands of them probably. And in a lot of them, you will get a very even-handed kind of video where they'll tell you the advantages and the disadvantages of each format. Clearly, they each have advantages and disadvantages. One of them you can see right away. This ebook, this Kindle, I should say, is very portable. I can fit this in my pocket, and that's a great thing. You can carry around thousands of books in this thing. I could fit this in my pocket and walk around with thousands of books. If you need to walk around with thousands of books, you can, because you've got this. This is one book. One big book, one kind of heavy book, actually. It's portable, but not nearly as portable as this. So there you have a clear advantage. How much does that mean, though? Does that make this better? Well, for all of you who are wondering which one is actually better and want just a clear-cut answer, hey, which one of these things is better? I will tell you right now. This is better. What? You say this is better? But look how heavy that damn thing is, and it's only one book. I can carry around a gazillion books in this, and the reading experience on this is actually really good, I have to say. E-readers have come a long way. This is a very readable thing. I like reading on this. So why on earth am I saying that this is actually a better thing? And that if you were to choose just one, this is what you should choose? It's not so much the reader itself. Like I said, the e-readers have come a long way, and the Kindle itself is an excellent device for reading on. So it's not the device itself, it's the text and the soundness of the texts that you are reading that is the issue. That makes these better. Physical books are better. Just because of the way ebooks are right now. Ebooks have always had issues, and I've noticed it since I first bought my first Kindle, which was probably in 2009. I can't remember for sure. It was the second Kindle, whenever that came out. And I first started reading ebooks. I noticed one thing right away, and that was an extraordinary amount of typos in the text. Now that is something you would expect from an ebook that you buy for $1 or $2 or something, and there are a gazillion of those. Self-published stuff, that kind of stuff. Okay, you expect there to be issues, typos and that sort of thing. But you get that in ebooks from major publishers as well. And you still do. I mean, even after all of this time that the Kindle's been out there and ebooks have been being sold, you still have books out there published in ebook form by major publishers that have real problems, that have typos and other issues. I read a book from Clark Ashton Smith, a Clark Ashton Smith book recently. And it had an issue, a formatting issue, where there would be paragraph breaks where there shouldn't be. Sometimes you'd be in the middle of a sentence, and then there's a new paragraph continuing that sentence. So that paragraph clearly shouldn't be there. They've taken one paragraph, and for some reason now it's two. I mean, it was just this ridiculous formatting issue. I was able to read the book, and enjoy the book, but that was annoying. If I had had a physical copy of that book, which unfortunately I do not, that wouldn't be there. I guarantee it. Because publishers care a lot more about their physical copies than they do about their digital copies. Digital copies are still kind of the thing that publishers are like, oh man, screw those, you know. They care a hell of a lot more about their physical copies, the physical copies of their books, than they do about e-copies. That doesn't mean that physical copies don't have typos. They do, but nowhere near as many as you'll find in ebooks. You won't find the kind of formatting issues in a physical book that you will in an ebook usually. But that is not the major thing. The major thing is the soundness of the text itself. And I thought about this when I watched a video from Troy Tradup the other day, where he was talking about the Roald Dahl censorship issue, where Puffin Books has decided to censor Roald Dahl's books to make them more sensitive for today's delicate readers, which is insidious and evil. To change an author's work after they are long dead, and to sort of revise history, you know, try to pretend like there was never any offending stuff in these books. It's awful. It's an awful thing. But the really thing that struck me about that video was that Troy mentioned that publishers can and probably will replace the copy on your Kindle. If you've got a Dahl book on your Kindle, they will probably replace it with the new edition with all of the censorship. They probably, I mean, I don't know if they will do that, but they can and probably will. The same way I've noticed on the Kindle where, you know, they change the covers, you know, sometimes, which is, you would think is not a huge deal on a Kindle. But I've noticed, like, I have Dune on the Kindle, which I bought a while ago, and then that dopey movie came out, that new Dune movie, and suddenly I had a stupid movie cover for Dune, because they just changed it, you know. And they can change the text just as well as they changed that. They can also, if they want, take books out of your library. I mean, Amazon doesn't do that too much, because people complain, but it can happen, and if they decide to, they will do that, you know, because they actually own the books that you buy. You don't on Kindle. Now, this is a different thing than a physical book. A physical book, you don't have to worry about that. Obviously, this is a copy of Livy from 1898. So this is, aside from being just awesome with beautiful illustrations, it is just as readable today as it was in 1898. I can pick this up and read it. The text is exactly the same as it's always been. It was printed to a high standard. There are no obvious or awful formatting issues in this book. And if you put this on the shelf and it's there for 100 years and you take it down again, it will still be just as readable as it's ever been. Books are like that if you take care of them. They are very, very durable objects. Very useful, durable objects. The reading experience on a physical book, as long as you have light and are comfortable, tends to be really good. Can't change the font size or any of the other fanciness that you can do on an e-reader. But for me, the soundness of the text is the most important thing. You don't have to worry about that with this. No one's going to sneak into your house at night and change the covers on your books, on your physical books. They're certainly not going to sneak in and change the text itself. These are safe in that way. These are reliable in that way. And I think that is the and yeah, as has been pointed out by others, if there's, a huge disaster and all the power goes out, you can still read this in the daytime anyway. It doesn't have batteries. That's not something I would concern myself with too much, but yeah, I guess there's that advantage. But really, this is better because the text is safe. It is safe. And it will be the text that you bought. No one's changing it. So if you had to choose one or the other, physical books are still better. They're still better. I don't know if that'll always be the case. You can make this better. You can change things to make ebooks better. And they just won't. They just won't do it. But yeah, there's the answer in case you were curious. Now you know. Okay, guys, I will catch you next time.